Good morning. Good morning. Wanted to put one, let's see if we can just change the light here a little bit. How's that? Very nearly fell off the chair then. That would have been an interesting way to start Monday, wouldn't it? So, wanted to come here this morning and just have a little conversation with my aspiring speaker friends, because I get a lot of questions. There's lots of, morning Mark, how are you, my brother? My aspiring speaker friends, because I get a lot of questions. Morning Rekka. Get a lot of questions from aspiring speakers, people who have turned something around in their lives, implemented some strategies, whether it be to do with confidence, mindset, anxiety, personal training, body transformation, nutrition. Lots of people come to me that have made this transformation, and obviously a great way to inspire others is to get on stages and workshops and this type of thing and inspire groups of people. This makes sense? So I get lots of questions. How do I do it, Jermaine? How do I become a speaker? I see you out there delivering talks on your ideas on personal transformation and personal development. Thanks for the share, Mark. Yeah, guys, if you've got aspiring speaker friends on your Facebook, please share this. I'm going to just take you through some of the steps that I took. And this is more a mentoring type video, because your personal journey may be slightly different. But I thought there may be some value to my aspiring speaker friends out there. Just some transparency on what goes on. And I said in the title of the video, getting paid £1,500 a talk. Automatically, you think, wow, if he's giving 20 talks a month, that's 30 grand a month. Fantastic. That's not the truth. That's not the truth at this stage. Yes, I'm very blessed that when I get brought in to deliver a talk, we might have an agreement with my book, or there may be an upfront fee. But there's only a couple of these per month as part of my business. I'm not what you would call a full-time speaker. I'm a full-time author, speaker, trainer, and coach. And that's something that I would inspire you guys to do if you've got this. Hope your little boy's doing good. Thank you, Mark. He's doing fantastically well. So I would inspire you, if you've got this knowledge, these ideas that can help people and support people on their various different journeys, whatever that might be. You need to have many different strings to your bow. I mean, perhaps I would structure my business differently. If I was getting paid £1,500, £2,000 per talk, 25 times per month, then that would be slightly different. So yes, I've built up to that speaker fee, but it's not every single day. So don't get clouded. Don't think, wow, Jermaine's bringing in all of this profit just from speaking. That's just not true, my friends. So for me, 5 years ago, after I turned my own life around, I was reading Jack Canfield, The Success Principles. Fabulous book. And I love the idea that there's about 120 success principles in there, which is something that I resonate with, because you can put together your recipe for success out of a book like that. It's not telling you there's one key or two keys, putting all of these different things together. And I was reading the success principles, and Jack mentioned public speaking, and he referenced an organization called Toastmasters, which is there'll be one local to you. It's a local event where you can work on your speaking skills. And for me, it was a platform, and it inspired me to just go out there and do it. So for me, it wasn't so much getting over the fear of public speaking. I didn't really have the fear. I just wanted to test the waters. However, if you believe that speaking will be a nice path for you to develop others, but you're slightly fearful or anxious about the public speaking, which is a really common, it's okay, really common conditioned fear in the Western world. Okay, it's a great place. Toastmasters is a great place just to dip your toe and get over a little bit of that fear. When I train public speakers, I don't train in the same way as Toastmasters. However, Toastmasters did a lot for me. And if you're just looking to dip your toe, it's a wonderful way to get started. Now, this part of the story is where I'm going to get very honest with you, my friends, because I could pretend it was easy. I could pretend it didn't cost me lots of time and lots of money. And I could paint this picture for you that would probably inspire, but eventually it'd be setting you up for a fall, because it wouldn't be the truth. So, I had all these fantastic ideas in my head. I was inspired by Tony Robbins. I was inspired by Eric Thomas. I was inspired by Les Brown. I was inspired by Bob Proctor. I thought, oh God, if these guys can do it, I can do it. Let's just go do it. Oftentimes we make these decisions, and then we realize the challenges, the obstacles, right? So some of my aspiring speaker friends, perhaps some of you are watching right now, or you're watching the replay, you could probably resonate with this. That little voice in your head may be a little bit like, who the hell's going to pay me to speak? No one's even having me for free. Here's what I did. Events, workshops, speaking agents, places where I knew people were speaking for free, even places where there was coaching going on or networking events. What did I do? I got this out, and I was getting at people. 159 rejections I had. I explained who I was, what I was doing, my vision, my mission, my values. I was just typing, email. Oh, they'll have me to speak. Rejection. Here's what's exciting about rejection. When you're rejected, you're no worse off than you were before you were rejected. You're just exactly the same. Any weight you may take on psychologically is actually not true. So if I say, oh, hello, X, Y, and Z event. I understand you're looking for speakers for your event. My name is Jermaine Harris. Please see my information attached. I'd love to speak at your event. Email comes back, which essentially says, sorry, Jermaine, we have no idea who you are or what you do. No, thank you. But I'm in the same position. Does this make sense? I haven't lost anything. So I just kept going. And eventually, I got invited to speak at a local event here in Cardiff, in South Wales. Here's the next truth. My friends. And it's very, very important. And it may even, don't allow this to build pressure for you. Allow this to build excitement. Because what I'm about to say, the way that we're wired, sometimes we can view it as putting pressure on. But that's not true. Here we go. You must be brilliant. See that? That sounds like a pressure-filled situation, doesn't it? But in reality, that's exciting. Because you know you're brilliant. No one has the ability to deliver your message, your ideas, your tools, your strategies better than you do. So by default, you'll probably be brilliant. But just operate with the idea that you haven't got a B game. You've just got that A game. You bring that A game, you bring that brilliance. And then, my friends, once you're brilliant, once people are astounded, once you operate, you think, you feel like a professional speaker. Because remember, my friends, at that stage for me, I was just a public speaker. I wasn't a professional speaker because I hadn't been paid to do it. To be a professional speaker, you have to be paid to do it. But I felt as if that it was a 4-figure speaking gig. I operated with that brilliance. I operated with the idea that I was going to give £10,000 worth of value. Does this make sense? So, once you've done that, here's what happens. For me, it was a local business event. Here's what happens. People start talking. People start to hear your name. Oh, you're at this event, and there was this young man, or young lady. And they were brilliant, they were fantastic. They talked about the mind, they talked about the body, they talked about their business philosophy, whatever it is. So for me, people were finding my ideas inspirational and transformational. I delivered it in such a way, with such certainty that I knew, not in an arrogant way, just that brilliance was my standard. Outstanding was my standard. Does this make sense? To be outstanding, you need to stand out. So that's how I operated. That's how I went for it. And people started to talk. Then all of a sudden, you can reference that previous gig that you did for free. Does this make sense? And there is no free in reality. People are actually investing their time at this stage. Free can sometimes make it seem a little bit like as if you say, oh, it'll be okay, it's just a free event. It's not just a free event. People are investing their time to be with you. Does this make sense? They're investing their time to be with you. And then once you start, and then whoever's organised the event, you can ask them for a testimonial. And one thing I've learned, I didn't know this at the time, but once at the time when people are inspired, especially now in this world, we've got these mediums, these phones. When people are at the peak of their inspiration, just afterwards, and they want to come and talk to you and ask you questions, record their testimonials there and then. Because then when you're back out there, then emailing the speaking agents and the events, you've got some ammunition. Does this make sense? So here's the next thing. I mean, I want to bring you just truth and value and ideas that you can actually use. Here's the next thing I did. And this is once again, you're going to think, wow, my God, Jermaine, this is helpful, but unhelpful. So then for me, I then invested £6,000 to go to South Africa. £6,000 that wasn't mine, so I had a lifetime of bad debt. I viewed this as good debt this time. I invested £6,000 that was a loan, that was loaned, to travel to South Africa and train with one of the world's most prolific speaker trainers. Wow, £6,000. I mean, I haven't got £6,000. I'm not saying you got to go and spend £6,000. I'm just telling you the truth about what I did. I observed that the best speakers in the world, because if we're going to aspire, we've got to aspire to the top, right? The best speakers in the world all reference their training. They all reference their detailed speaker training that they had. This makes sense, both from a delivery point of view and from a business point of view. Because when you get in that cycle of delivery and business, they're both important. They both marry up. So I invested. It was a calculated risk, if you like. So yes, of course, I've made that £6,000 back now and then some. But it was a calculated risk at the time. I'm not saying that you need to fly to South Africa or find the world's most prolific speaker trainer. I'm just saying what I did. There's an abundance of speaker trainings out there now. But just make sure that, for me, I invested with what resonated with me at the time. Does that make sense? So, once you've invested in speaker training, then you come back with even more ammunition. And most importantly, you have a system. You have a system of business development and speech development, talk development, workshop development that allows you to grow even further. And there's probably lots of this information out there for free these days as well, and books and all of these different types of things. But my point, I guess, is this, is to invest in yourself continuously. And I still have coaches and mentors in this area now, and I always will. Does this make sense? And then you start to get momentum. Then all of a sudden, and I still probably got rejected for 15 speaker gigs last week. But that's okay. That's okay. That is, that's 10 times less per email. Does this make sense? I got rejected for 15, accepted for 1. Does this make sense? 5 years ago, I used to have to send 160 emails to get accepted for 1 for free. Now I send 15, and I get paid for number 16. Can you see that? So that's 5 years. That's half a decade, my friends. I'm not offering you a get-rich-quick scheme, a get-rich-quick idea. But if you truly want to make a difference and make a profit making a difference, because no one really talks about that, right? To be able to make a true difference, make a true impact, for you to go full-time as a speaker, trainer, coach, it's vital that you make a profit, right? Then when you make a profit, you can make a bigger difference. Then you can make a bigger profit and make a bigger difference. This makes sense. It's an important piece to the pie, guys. We can sit here and talk all day about making a difference and changing the world and contribution. But to be able to sustain our message, to leverage our message on a global scale, as business professionals, as speakers, as coaches, it's important. It's important that we view or we take consideration into the profit. And that's a fair exchange. That's a fair exchange. If I get brought into a business event and let's say there's 100 people there, and they've paid me £1,500, that's £15 per person, isn't it? And I deliver incredible value, life-changing value. And I might save that business, or I might improve sales in that business through my ideas and strategies on confidence and motivation and anxiety reduction. That business might make an extra £10,000 next week or next month, and they've invested £1,500 with me. Is that not a fair exchange? So don't take because you're passionate about making a difference, I know you are. Because you're passionate about making an impact, I know you are. Because you're passionate about changing lives, I know you are. Without making a profit, eventually, you don't need to make a profit straight away, but eventually, if you don't make a profit eventually, you can't sustain the message. This makes sense? So take this in, absorb the idea that cycle, that fair exchange of people investing in you and you investing your time and energy into the people. And of course, you're finding yourself as a part-time speaker coach, and you're perhaps looking at leaving that corporate job or leaving behind that small business or going full-time, whatever that means for you. Then you can do more and inspire more people. Does this make sense? Then you can do even more. So I love this. So none of you guys are paying me for this, right? It gives you the opportunity to do more of this. Does this make sense? So as I make more and more profit, as my business grows, I get excited about doing more of this. then you can make a difference. You can inspire people. And I see some amazing, inspiring speakers and trainers and stuff tuning in. And you know, anything that I can just give you just a small idea, just to pull you up with me, I'm in love with that. So my friends, my aspiring speakers, and even those of you that are perhaps watching live or watching the replay just out of interest, there is a route you can take. It is possible. Of course, you've got that voice in your head thinking, oh God, there's so many speakers. What makes me different? I had all those voices. But the truth is, my friends, there is a route for you, because no one does your way better than you. This makes sense? And a little bit later on in another video, I'm going to talk about that psychological shift that gets you in to the real you and the value that just you. There is no competition. There is no competition with Jermaine Harris, because it's just me. This makes sense? There's no competition with Mark Kehoe, because it's just you. So, I'd like to take those ideas with you, implement those ideas. Whatever resonates with you. If nothing resonates with you, don't take it. Don't just do things because the guy on the screen's saying to do it. I did that for years. Don't do things just because the gentleman or the lady in the screen says to do it. If it resonates with you, if it fits in with your values, if you think it'll work for you, take a small piece of it and fit it into your personal system. Okay, guys? Lolly says. Mark says, lol, yeah. So, if you've got any questions, any ideas, any thoughts, any collaborations, any next steps that you'd like some advice on, I'm here for you guys as always. Facebook Messenger is the best place to get me, the quickest way, the most efficient way. It's been an absolute pleasure being here with you live this Monday morning, and we'll catch up very, very soon. Thank you so much. Don't go, he says. Oh, that's very kind of you. That's very kind. This is great, he said. Well, thank you so much. Listen, Mark, as we grow, that little voice never goes away. That little voice never goes away. Every time you go live and you want to give value, because I'm passionate. I mean, it's very easy to say, don't care about what people think. I prefer to term it slightly differently, because I care, but I don't worry. My friends, that's a psychological shift perhaps that might be helpful for you. Sometimes you might seem a bit aggressive when you say, I don't care what people think. What about this shift, guys? What about this shift that I'm going to give you now? How do you feel? How do you feel, Mark? How do you feel, guys and girls? If I say to you, I care about you. Or I say, I worry about you. Do you see the difference? We attach a different meaning. So I care about what people think. Mark, I'm so grateful to you there. So grateful for your kind comments, and I receive and accept it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mark, all I want to do is help people live their life the way I do. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. And when you implement some of these tools and ideas, love life. Absolutely, my brother. Implement these tools and ideas and strategies, in a business sense, in a personal growth sense, in a business development sense, in a professional development sense, then you can help people. And it becomes, my friends, it's never a one-way street, Mark. Let me tell you, my friend, it's not a one-way street. As you start to help more people, you help yourself. And you become even more congruent. And you live your strategies even more. Does this make sense? We were just talking about love and gratitude and receiving, and I've just seen the master of those things, Ollie True, just pop up. How are you, Ollie? Great to see you, my brother. Hope to catch up very, very soon. This video was about to end, but Mark gave me a beautiful compliment, so I wanted to receive it and take it with love. But guys, it's been phenomenal being with you live this morning. Those of you watching the replay, also very grateful. As I said, any questions, any ideas, any collaborations, any questions on training, I'm here for you. And going to take you through over the next few days, I'm going to take you through a psychological shift that allowed me to go to the next level as a speaker, trainer, and coach as well. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love, energy, power. Go serve yourself. Go serve the world. Keep going, keep growing. Love you guys.